Yeah, so my journey started back when I was 16, decided to get a little part-time job, started as a customer service assistant. Over those 20 years since, I've worked through as a personnel assistant, personnel manager, sorry, HR manager, head of HR, through now to HR director. Throughout that time, I've completed my level 7 CIPD, and now I'm a chartered fellow of the CIPD. 20 years of quite literal blood, sweat and tears to get to where I am. I'm very thankful for every opportunity I've had throughout those years as well, and been given by the leaders that I've met along the way.
Thank you for having me. I started my career at AluK as a lead buyer, and with the recognition and trust of my colleagues on the board of directors, I quickly became head of purchasing. And then recently I decided to move to HR and ESG function, and this was made possible to me. So at AluK, career progression is possible to everyone who is willing to grow and open to challenges.
My journey started with a passion for business management, which led me to pursue an MBA education.
Well, thank you for having me. I moved from a quality engineer to logistics and project manager. With continuous learning, the career path has become clear. Of course, I took the opportunities through my efforts and got the current position.
Undoubtedly, has been the biggest challenge to being a leader, is having to call out inappropriate behaviour from other people.
The biggest challenge at AluK and in the aluminium industry is to overcome stereotypes. The aluminium industry is still led by men leaders, and it mainly came from external stakeholders which were used to discuss with men leaders. In order to overcome that, I focused on my skills, and I was always results driven. I also focused on building a strong network of colleagues and allies internally.
As a women in construction industry, the biggest challenge is overcoming distrust caused by gender bias.
So, the gender bias play a big role. I am a woman in the traditional male department, warehouse and logistics. How did I overcome? Persistence, enduring good results.
I think when you're balancing your personal and professional life, particularly in a really demanding leadership role, is making sure that you're quite clear on where your priorities are, and is being flexible with it as well. So, you know, I'm quite lucky that sometimes if I have to go and deal with something personal, I can, but equally my personal life understands when my professional life needs to take over. I'm very lucky to have an amazing support system in my personal life, and I am also very lucky to have an amazing support system at AluK, where I'm able to thrive and grow as a director whilst also being, you know, a full-time mother.
Balancing personal and professional life is always a challenge. For me, it's very important to take time for my families and for my personal interests. I try to delegate my work effectively, to prioritize, and to be very focused on my work.
Balancing work and personal lives is always a challenge for women. Setting clear boundaries can help you better allocate your time.
Yep, as a female manager, balancing work and family is very complex. It requires flexibility, accept a temporary imbalance while striving for long-term harmony.
I think to accelerate action in our industry is to acknowledge that we are in a very male-dominated industry, and it's looking to open those doors and provide opportunities where possible, challenging that unconscious bias and making sure that we're looking at who is the best fit for that role and who has the best skill set for that role.
Women leadership is going to grow in the future in the overall industry and in the aluminium industry. At AluK, we have a recruitment process that is focused on being free from gender bias. We are also working on our policies continuously to improve flexible working hours, parental leave, and remote work. And one of the one of our focus is to lead by example and show other women that career progression is possible at every functions.
My advice to young women who are aspiring leaders would be to stay strong. Don't be afraid to use your voice and challenge. Don't be afraid to be yourself. I think it's really important in any workplace to have almost a safe space, someone that you can, that's like a mentor or someone that you can confide in, speak to, or, you know, get some feedback, advice from.
I would say be true to yourself and trust yourself. Don't change your personality for others. Don't be afraid to take new challenges and take risks, because this is one of the only ways to grow. And believe in your abilities, train yourself, seek out mentors internally.
My advice is to be proactive in taking advantage of all potential opportunities and to stay hungry for learning. Trust yourselves. You can achieve everything you aspire to.
Keep dreaming and realize your dream. True leaders don't wait for recognition. They proactively define the rules of the game. When you expertise speak loud enough, gender fades into the background, leaving only the impact you've made on your field.
I'd say some of the proudest moments in my career would be being able to reflect on almost 20 years and see some of the phenomenal people I've had the opportunity to see thrive and grow. And I've had the opportunity to see some amazing women that have now gone on to leadership roles and are absolutely killing it in their field. You know, that's really exciting to know that even if it was just giving one small opportunity or a piece of training, or even just you know, lending a ear wherever needed, to see those people go on and thrive and really be fearless leaders is really rewarding. And it's so exciting when you hear of them to see that they've got a new role or they're moving on to something more exciting. And that will always be, you know, out of any initiative or any KPI or anything, my favourite thing will always be the fact that over 20 years there's some phenomenal leaders out there in my career.
I'm quite proud of overcoming the raw material increase wave in 21-22. It helped me to see the positive side of unforeseen events and to see new collaboration models with suppliers. It brought to the purchasing function a special recognition internally, and I'm very proud to have brought this recognition. I'm also proud of taking this new challenge of ESG and HR function after having been head of purchasing, and it's really important to always take new challenges to grow.
I'm particularly proud of creating a menu for the sales teams, which aimed to improve communication among different teams and business units.
So proud that I'm responsible for ERP project in the company.
International Women's Day to me means an opportunity to acknowledge that while we have made great strides in this area, we have still got so much work to do, and particularly, you know, the responsibility lies on the organisations now to make sure that you are giving those opportunities, you're accelerating action, and you're acknowledging where your opportunities lie to be better. And on a personal note, I've got a little 3-year-old girl who, you know, International Women's Day is all about making sure that when she comes time to move through her life, that she looks up to me as hopefully some probably fierce, gobby mother that's so it helps break down barriers to make life easier for her, so that she's got that opportunity to just smash it.
International Women's Day is a day to celebrate the progress made for gender equality across the world. And it's also a day to think about the progress that still can be made for the next generations of women leaders.
It is also a reminder for us to fight for a more equal and fair working environment, not only for ourselves, but also for future generations.
It connects past, present, and future. It reminds us that the gender equality is not a complete task, but an ongoing journey.